Hey there, fellow deck forgers! Welcome back to the Deck Forge. Today we are diving into the captive world of Enchanter's Hallowed Army, a mono-white enchantment-focused deck that is ready to unleash legions of haunting spirit tokens upon the battlefield. So let's begin with our enchanting adventure with this Hallowed Army. So in this deck, the genesis of this deck originally was that I wanted to use Hallowed Haunting, which anytime you cast a enchantment, you get to create a spirit token that is toughness and power equal to the number of spirits in play. So I had other spirits and other types of enchantments going on, and then I kept on losing and losing and losing to control decks. So I was like, okay, I give up. We're going to control the heck out of the board, and everything here is almost exclusively control in one way or another. So we have some cheap ones where we turn a creature into defender. We can bounce enchantment back, which is really awesome. I'll tell you that technique in a moment. We have planar disruption, which basically enchant creature or planeswalker. Super awesome. It can't activate its abilities, can't attack, can't block. This lets you to exile any permanent other than land. We have enchanted creature can't attack or block. This one, if we want to get some of these cheaper cards from the graveyard, we can bring it back. We can also bring these lands that give us life into play and then search for another planes. That's pretty awesome. We can exile a non-land permanent, but also our creatures get +1/+1, which is fun. Here we gain 2 life, exile a permanent, and it has flash, so we can cast it on their turn too. And then we have more exile, except that this time we get life and create a power stone. These last 3, I only have 1 of each because I didn't craft the rest of them. I'm kind of like trying it out now because they're more expensive. I used to have more of the cheaper end, but I found that sometimes there's some other stuff other than creatures that I want to target, so I added a few of those. The Hallowed Haunting, like I said, another cool thing about this, other than creating the spirit tokens, is that you get to, if you have 7, let's see, where was it? As long as you control 7 more enchantment creatures, your creatures have flying and vigilance, which is super awesome to be able to kind of get past the lines of the defenses, because sometimes even with all this control, they might be spawning tokens themselves. So this lets us get past it. And then this, with our spirit tokens, lets us double up whenever we're creating. This bounce effect, so if we have something enchanting something else to exile it, we can actually use this to return target permanent to its hand. So you only need 1 out of these out in the field because you can use it over and over again. But let's say we were short on creatures. We can bounce off Nurturing Presence, so that way we can create more spirit flying creatures. So this is cool because it's an enchantment and it triggers Haunting Hollow, but it also creates a token itself. Do we need more land for some reason? Well, we can bring back the Restoration, which is nice. And so if it's a creature, we can bring it back and get land, but then also we can get it to go through its phases and then exile and we get him again. So it's a cheap one to bounce, but you can even, let's see, return target permanent you control to its owner's hand. It costs 3. If we have Cattle Trap out there, we can do it pretty cheap, going back and forth. You can also bounce itself back into your hand and then cast it. It's an enchantment which triggers Hallowed Haunting. There's some cool stuff you can do with this in this deck, bouncing stuff back and forth. If there's something that is not as dangerous as something new on the field, you can bounce one of these enchantments and bring it to your hand and then cast it out to the end. Going back and forth and bouncing and recasting, if it's not one of these cheap ones, you can do it towards the end of the game, but it gets kind of expensive. But sometimes you do need that to stay in the game, so that gives you the possibility to do that. Now let's see how this game plays. We will go and try out this deck right now. If there's any changes that you'd like to see on this deck, any suggestions you think that would make it better, let me know down in the comments. I love learning from you guys. Okay, let's try out this deck. Alright, here comes the games. Let's see how it does. I find that the deck, it works really well until it doesn't. So we can last a long time. So the games will last a long time, usually. The problem is that getting creatures out onto the field soon enough to be able to do anything at all. Not going to be able to do anything about that right now. I don't like all this toxicness going on. Let's see. We can't attack and block. Uh-oh. We need to remove that out of the game. Let's see if we can survive, because I don't know if we can survive. I really would like to survive. So we can target this without getting a poison counter if we cast an enchantment that, so we aren't targeting it while we cast it, but we can actually take it in. But we don't have any of that right now. What do we have over here? Okay. And if I cast this turn, that would be good. I don't want any more poison counters. So let's get a little bit of life. Not that it super matters in here, because they're going to kill us with poison soon. Let's see if they exile it. Oh, that's not fun. That's what I thought, those two. Keeping those behind, because when you kill this thing, it creates another one. That's okay, hopefully we get enough blockers soon. Yay. Got a blocker. Let's get another blocker. Another 2 blockers. Thank you. And then let's beef ourselves up. And then they have 1, 2, 3, 4 attackers. I can attack right now because they have no way of getting through. Let's see what they do, because I want to block with you. Oh, that's not so good. Take action. Let's get ourselves a land. Still only 2 go through, that's okay. That gives us a land that we can protect our person with. I guess we can't protect our person. We have enough land. Cool. That's fun. That's not so much fun. Let's block. Do we want to block that? No, we want to block this so we don't have as much toxic there. That is okay. So we do this. And we can target ourselves, or let's exile a creature. Okay, so we're a little better off, but we're still not good. I probably should have exiled. No, nope. I did the best I could. And we have a good game. There's nothing I can do. Let's concede. Because all they have to do is get one little bit of poison out, and maybe early on I should have kind of locked down their creatures so that way they couldn't attack, because I was hoping I'd draw a card that would let me do exactly what I did right now, where I can exile the creature without getting it to poison counter, but instead I just got all the poison counters. So maybe earlier on in the game, in hindsight, probably better. Okay, one down. Let's see if we can win the last two. Okay, I like. Let's get some mana and life. We are going to survive this time. I just know it. More toxic. We are being destroyed by toxicness. Dun, 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 dun. It can't activate its activated abilities. That is good. Let's get ourselves some more land. What are you gonna do now? What are you going to do? Cast something else with toxic, I bet. Yes, more toxic. Oh, no, nothing. So, let's exile this, and then pull it back. Get a land, and then we can get another land. We can cast that, which was not what I wanted to do. Oopsies. Oh well. I wanted to cast Mandrake. Glory Dominus. They want to counter or exile something, don't they? Boom, boom, boom. Let's do this. Let's see, are they gonna counter it? They're gonna counter it. But I have 2 mana. What does this artifact do? Non-land permanents you control are artifacts in an occasion. Blah 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 blah. Whatever. We can do it. We can take it back later with meticulous excavation. I don't want you attacking. And let's put the board back the way it was. Is there anything in here that could be good that we can get? Let's decline. And then let's exile this just in case. It's not necessarily the best for us because we want enchantments, but I also want something that I can cast. Yes! Thank you. And thank you. And now I can protect him if I needed to. Let's see. Is he gonna target Mandrake? He gives up with 20 life. Yes, that was a little bit more fun, wasn't it? Okay, we're 1 for 1. Let's try again. have some of the more expensive cards we want. This gives us a little bit of time. Let's see how it goes. We have the 4 mana we need. We just need to survive till that point. They have green, which means that they have enchantment destruction. Let's see if they destroy something. Oh, that's a lot of poison. Let's get you out there. That way I don't have to pay for you. Thank you. Let's get Mandrake out. Glory Dominus. I'm gonna do something about him, because I have another one. What are you thinking? I want to know. Wants to see how he can get his creature back. Is he gonna deal direct damage to him? He's gonna have them fight each other? Oh, 2 mites. Oh, exile. Okay, so we can do this because there's not much we can do anyways except cast. Another Mandrake. You thought you killed him? He's still here. And if he goes away, we can get him back, hopefully. There's a lot of toxic decks today. Can't block, can't block, can't block. Cool. Don't have enough mana yet, but let's attack. Gives us 2 things there. It gives us the ability to protect ourselves, which makes me happy. More blockers, more spirits, army of enchantment. Destroy all creatures. Let's protect ourselves. That is why we are doing this. Submit. Thank you. I have the only creature on the board, and it's the big one. 3 toxic. Can't even cast it, buddy. Interesting. This one has flash, so I'll do it on his turn. Let's just attack. Boom. And oh, no one knew that was gonna happen. What are you gonna proliferate? There's nothing to proliferate. Gonna proliferate me? More indestructibleness. Thank you. And let's attack. And then let's be silly. Yes. I understand. Yes, I understand. I have big creatures now. Doesn't have to be their creatures I enchant. We can enchant our own. Interesting. Reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature or planeswalker powered, put it into your hand. Otherwise, you may put it on the bottom of your library. Distribute 3+1/+1 counters, and you get an emblem whenever you cast a creature. Planeswalker, target spell opponent gets 2 poison counters. I mean, that does suck. What was on top? It's an enchantment. They could have exiled something. He wants it on top. I would too. Good game. Yay! We went and won the last 2 games. We only lost the first one. So, with this deck, if you like it, there is a variation that I created. Let's check that out really quick. So, I have a revised version of this deck, which has more Candle Trap, which basically gives the creature's defender. I found that it was nice if they destroyed their creature or they removed it, somehow countered it. It goes into the graveyard, but then I can get it back with restoration. So that was kind of nice. There was also some other 3 casting cost removal spells that were like that could target planeswalkers or whatever. I removed them, and the Candle Trap is one of the things I included, and then I included more of these 4 casting cost removal spells that will allow you to be able to target any permanent, and then I also included 4 of this guy, so that way we can start triggering enchant or creatures coming into the play for Mondrake. Because the other enchantment that we had to kind of bounce it back and forth a lot with the meticulous excavation in order to get it to work sometimes. And the only other source of creature tokens was the restoration enchantment. So this just gave us more opportunities to double up our tokens as well as this guy here. The other option that you can do is just, instead of that, put more exile or preventing, attacking, and blocking. But let's see how this deck plays with the updated revised version. One thing with this revised version is that you can lose a lot of life early on. If you don't get your engine going at the end of the game, it can really hurt. Game 2 life. Well, we won, but we'll count it. But let's see the deck in action. What do you guys say? So, we've lost 1-3, because it counts. It counts. Mythic orange names are Wizards of the Coast employees. Make sure to say hello. Hello. Are you a employee? It's not a mythic gold color, or is it over here? So we have 2 of these bounce backs, which is nice if they cancel one, and if not, we can discard it to get another card with the other enchantments. Also, with this, it's kind of nice if you're running low on life and you don't want to lose much more life, you can bounce that back too. I could have also held off until I had Mondrake out over here, and then had it start generating tokens for me, but I want to hopefully get to the point where I can get early on some life. I'm going to hold off on the other 2, meticulous excavation, because that will allow me to get the other if I get that enchantment where we can create spirit tokens every time we cast an enchantment, I might as well cast it then because it gets me to increase the number of those pretty quickly. We have mana of any color. Okay, so we don't have the 4th land, but for now we can remove you so that we can attack. Get blind? Nope. Okay, attack. We get lifelink if they don't kill either one of these. Sure. Let's sacrifice this guy. I'm wondering if I should bounce this thing back. That's okay. We'll probably take this because once it gets 3, it can deal some damage to us. And we're already dealing enough damage to ourselves. So, let's get a little bit of life back. Up! They're like, no, don't remove stuff. So a lot of times people don't like the board control that way, so they'll just end the game right quick from the beginning. So, that is it for this deck. You saw 2 different variations, kind of how it works. And there's like sometimes when you're playing with these decks, you'll see that they kind of like really grow really fast, so which is kind of really fun. Alright, that's it. We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.